forget to like, subscribe, share, and follow if you like my content. Thank you for watching. Hello. Yes, I am doing a fix for bodycam. People seem to misconstrue certain settings and what they can do and what they can't do for each system, and it does vary on depending on systems. If you have the micro SD boards, or you have like one, I have the largest you can get. Now that being said, mine comes with everything that you should need in a board. It has the unlimited graphics for card use you can use. It's got the RAM. I can upgrade it as high as I want. My CPU is compatible. The slot for all CPUs for its board can go all the way up to even the new ones that have come out. Now that being said, that other computers, micro SD boards, are have limitations. And that being said, that where one computer can do something and one may not. Now, today I'm going to be showing my settings so that others can see, and I will show you how well it plays on my system. Now, on these settings, as you can see, I have them here, and I don't know if I can maximum here. Let me see. Um, well, hopefully you can see it. Cause see, I don't know if you guys can. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Let me double make sure it's clear. See, I can actually, and it's going to cause a tunnel effect. I can see my stream out. Well, it's somewhat clear enough you can actually read it. I need to adjust my my output. Obviously pretty bad. I also. All right, so you can see them if you're on a big enough TV. So basically, you want your image scaling. You want that on.
So that's really exciting.
Now, having it off means that your GPU decides on your image scaling. So if you're having problems, and this is the first setting you need to set before you change anything, you need to use this setting, and then you'll apply it. Once you're done, you're going to come down to here. Then you're going to be on your image scaling. You want that on. The next one you want off. Now, some people might have more, depending on your updates, because you can change these by getting updates from online.
No,
Um,
it's Landers.
Landers, okay, the families are growing.
They're
so
going down.
you want your after your
What about
first
you?
one on, you
No,
want
none.
your next
Actually, negative two. Thanksgiving is my holiday,
your
and
next three will be
I don't want
off,
to have to deal
and
with
the one down
anyone
below
else.
that'll
This
be
is my
on.
day. I've given up Christmas, birthdays, Father's. You can have it all.
Now,
Thanksgiving
the
is my day.
settings that I
So
got here,
football,
this
I'll eat
here,
pre-turkey meal, turkey
usually
meal,
you want
post-turkey
this
meal, some
off,
naps in there.
but
There will be
it
no.
does
I don't
help.
want to hear how
This
your
is
life's
where you
going.
just all together
Um,
make everyone do things for you.
Yes, this is where everyone has to
you
pay
want your
homage to me.
background frame
It's like
It's my
Father's
day.
Day.
It's not
off
Father's Day, so
if
could be.
your
Yeah,
computer can
Father's Day is
support
shame.
high frames. And what I
Okay.
mean by that is, say I'm running
Are people coming to your house?
one
The source
4K
says Jones
here
will not be
on the
having a
screen, and I'm
holiday
obviously
with
not,
my
and I
family.
probably
That
should
has
be,
nothing
but
to do with
so
politics.
say I'm running
Cattle
it,
thing.
okay? Well,
Facebook question from Lisa W. Would you rather
my
cook Thanksgiving
downscale
dinner
will
or clean
affect
up
that.
after the meal? Let's start this way.
Again,
So
my day, neither. There's
if
people
you're running
cooking,
it higher
children will
here
clean.
in this
Yeah, I
application
will
and the
cook
other
and I
ones are
will
running
enjoy. It's
in
my one
30
day.
and
My
behind,
one day.
I
well,
thought it
when
was a
you go
theme.
back,
There were no
it's going to have a
allowances
different
Thanksgiving.
performance issue if it's the
Cooking or
same
cleaning? I
one.
think
So
you
you're
know the
using
answer.
frames
Well,
in the
I'd rather
background.
cook, but I can't.
Now, I turn it off because
Or I
everything
have
else I
cleaned.
You're a
do
very good
prevents
cleaner.
I always
those
tell great
from
stories,
running
so
in the
then I get
background
to
unless I
swing.
open them.
Yeah.
It's a setting you can
Strategic
choose
stories,
Exactly.
so
right?
that
With
they're
all the
only
cleaning up
active and they
afterwards.
only use
What do we got?
memory
I
when
aspire
it's
to be someone that could
activated.
cook. That's not happening, but I recently was gifted
And
a
that
pair of
means that while
really
running
nice
this, all these are also running in the
dishwasher
background at the
gloves,
same frame
which
rates as my same
make it
frame. That's the
cleaning so much
difference.
faster. You would hand them those
Whereas here,
giant
you can decide
Gloves.
my friend
to
Kyle,
take your frame rate and you can adjust it to usually 30 would be your best bet for background frames in the background. And your CUDA CPUs, you want it on all. You can pick it, but I pick all. You get the better performance because it will pick and choose. If your GPU is having issues, a lot of the times if you have your GPU clicked there, the difference between the all is uh, one will allow it to decide, and when I mean by that, if your board supports using your GPU and your CPU both together, you get a better performance. And a lot of NVIDIA cards work together with your CPU. Well, if you have just your GPU, it's not going to use your onboard at all. It's going to use just your GPU. Now, if your GPU is strong enough to do what it needs to do, you you can select that. And mine is, but I choose to keep it here because there are times I don't want my GPU being used for something that I'm not using it for. And this allows my computer to decide how to use it. And when I select in games, you select in your games to decide to read your GPU or default. Fallback, I have it on default. Now, the DSR factors. Now, this is, with this off, means that you'll only get support for a certain amount of number of what your screen can do, like 180, 720. It will literally only stay within a certain parameter of the default settings. Now, by turning this on, it gives you those extra settings inside. And yes, it does matter on which ones you. I clicked the wrong one. So when you click it, it's going to take a second. All right. So these two top ones, these are this, as they say, the same quality with 2 times more the effective. Now, what that means is you want these settings. It's best to unclick these and then once you click these, it'll exclude them, and you won't have to try to figure out if you don't know. And then by doing that, it will add this into your games, and you will get this form of view. Now that being said, you can see how this is 256 2560 by 1440, and as you can tell, it's the DL version selected, vision selected. Now, this up here is, what was that one? It's the 280.
We also have some showers and isolated thunderstorms that will be possible in the southeast
As you
today.
can tell,
Isolated
it's the
severe
same.
weather being a possibility, damaging winds, maybe even an
It's
isolated tornado
just
or two, and we'll talk more about that here in just a moment. Now, we are
different
beginning to see
version
a
of
development
this.
of a completely different weather pattern that is going to consist of colder weather
And
and also more
does it run
snow in
smoother?
areas like the Midwest, Ohio
I'm
Valley,
in
and
debating
Northeast.
that.
So let's talk about this more in detail here for the next several days, beginning with
It's
today and
the
tomorrow, which
I
is
don't
where
know.
we're going to have a large
So
storm
we'll
just
just go ahead
over
and click it. So
Washington, D.C.
it
or
really
so
doesn't matter
as we
either
go
way
throughout
because
the
they're both
daytime
similar.
today. This
So
is going to
and you
bring
push
two different
apply
things.
so you don't lose your settings. So if something happens,
Friday and Monday, that
come on. All right. Now your DR or DSR smoothness, I have mine set at 33. A lot of people like to stick theirs at like 65 or 66%. And I have found that the lower settings have a better view in games. And what I mean by that is like, you know how World of Warcraft looks very cartoonish? Well, it doesn't give you that with this setting. So I would set that to 33. But you can do, I wouldn't do anything over 65 if you're going to do it. Now, low latency mode. Now, I have mine on ultra. It's probably what's causing some of my problems because I usually have it off. But this setting will affect how your game plays, and it either decides if it's going to do 1 frame or by your GPU, or it's going to skip frames. It's basically the same as VC latency. So, and then now a lot of people have controversial about this setting. It's called max frame rate. Now, yes, if your computer, your TV monitor, or any of that supports 60 frames, but the game is, say, a 4K, okay? But you can go on YouTube and type in 4K and watch a 4K video. Now, what I'm trying to explain here is if the game has 4K and it's at 120 frames, and you only pick 120 frames, but your game itself can support higher frames than what your frame rate is on your computer. What I mean by that is some where you can play some games at 1 frame rate and set all your settings, but yet you're getting more frame rates while you're in the game, and people are like, okay, well, what does that mean? Well, I put it at the highest, and mine will support 1,000 frames. So I put it at 1,000 frames, and I have never had an issue with it. And it only plays 1,000 frames if it will allow it. Now, what I mean by that is your GPU, your CPU will always decide on how many frame rates it does, no matter what you click here. This is just the maximum amount allowed. Means that if your computer supports 120, but your settings in some say it doesn't, but it does, well, by clicking this, it will use its max frame rates to your video game or what you're playing. And multi-frame, I have that off. And the next one, OpenGL GI compatibility, I have it on auto, and the next one as well, the rendering GPU, I have that selected as auto, and I think that's the one you can select your actual GPU. Yeah, that's the one you can select your GPU. And the next one is normal is default and basically the max performance. Now, I have found an odd situation here with this setting. I've had it on normal and it plays fine, and I've had it on performance and it plays fine, and I haven't really noticed any in-betweens on this setting, so I really just say screw it and I click it on performance. The next one, you want your shader cache size. Usually I put that, and that's if you have the space. You can put it on default, and I put it here so you guys have like kind of like a start out of what it would be like if you clicked in. Now, a lot of people like to go right here, 10 gigs. You really don't need more than that, but there are a few games that need more, and the more you have here, the better your game can render your shaders. So if you can support, and I can, or you can do what I usually do, is just unlimited, and just I keep it there so that it can decide on what it needs. On your next one, you want to have that one off. That is your text filtering, and you want the sample option off. The next one, you want the native base. Now, there is controversial in this one, the setting, and clamping it is basically, it enables for a better image quality, but it can also take out performance. And what I mean by that is it'll look better, but it'll be more choppier. So I would just go allow and let it do its thing. And the next one, you want it on quality. Now some people, your text, I just have it on quality. If you put it on high performance, it'll have less of a picture. If you put it on high quality, it's not going to really be any better than this one. This is actually where you want it. And your text filter, there, you want that one off, or texture filter. And it's, there it goes. Now you got auto off and on this setting, and I put it on auto. And the reason I put it on auto because I want my games to decide too. And the triple buffing, now this is a big controversial. I know a lot of people online because I've seen their videos. It helps, and then other people say it doesn't. I leave it off because it doesn't really help me out. It's just to help your virtual sync, and it can improve your performance depending on what you're doing. And that's only if you have your OpenLG application selected. That was the first thing I had you change up here. And my VSync is used by application because some games do not need VSync. So I put it on. You can also put it on an adapter. It's usually the best. And if you put it on this, it's full force. You want this one on 1. And I've had in the past 4 works great. For GPUs that are not as great as others, it allows it to pre-render the frame or more frames. I would do 1 or 2 because rendering the frames faster is great, but pre-rendering them makes it so it's wow, things, there it goes. It depends on if it's on your GPU, and it's the headroom of it, basically, that's available. So if you just put it on adaptive, it will do what it needs to do, and the frames are only when your GPU's headroom is available. So if you have basically if your GPU is running, you can just go here and use your 3D settings there. And and it only helps out NVIDIA graphics cards, by the way. And these settings here, now this one here, I have an auto, but there are some people say that when it comes to older games, it does help. If you put it right here, if you put it here, it will only be in this. I put it on auto so it'll fluctuate between these instead of just being here. Because if you put it here, it won't do this. But if you do this, it won't do this. And what I mean by that is there are some games that support and there are some games that do not support. So have it on auto makes the best. And then you just want to apply. Now, a lot of these other settings are like mine, it depends if you're doing multi displays. Now, you can choose your processor by putting your graphics card there. And on here, when you click those settings, you gave your ability to do a lot of this. And these are your scaling options of what your graphics card can do. And that's only scaling. Now, this is a little trick. You know, on games, they're not very vibrant, or they're not perfect or great. So, and I have a guy that says 65 is the best. If you put it at 65, your games will illuminate better, they will look better, the colors will be brighter, and it does. But I think it overly does it. So I do 55 to 60, and I felt 55 is like the best because when it comes to metals, when it's too much color, it looks fake, and just enough color, it looks real. Alright, sorry about that. So, I would adjust that setting. And a lot of these other ones, I don't usually mess with these. It just depends on your monitors and what. This here, you can choose the aspect ratio or just let it do it on its own. Multi-displays, you can choose how it's configured. I have multiple monitors. I have 6 of them. I have 3 on top and 3 on bottom, but 3 get registered here and 3 get registered on the other one. So you can, I wouldn't mess with any of these settings. Okay, now that you're done with that, what you need to do is like bodycam. Like I said, you're going to go into it. This is the recommended setting, and what that means is when you load it, it's going to open in this, and not in full screen. It will open full screen to this window. Okay, to this window. Now, a lot of these settings here, you want like these are the recommended. If you just click optimize, these are the settings you'll get. As you can tell, all mine on high. Now, these are just the in-games global settings and stuff. Now, what that means is if you're tired of that little window opening up, click here. Choose your screen size. Okay? And then you would apply that. The full screen is recommended, and I will show you what I mean. So, that's not body game. I have a lot more games of this. I have multiple folders. By the way, it makes it easy for games you like and other games. You can put them on multiple hard drives, and you can choose to have them depending on where you click, and I love it. But okay, we're gonna go ahead and play here.
Well, folks, I've been doing this a long time, and I've come to realize that the
And I leave this open, and I'll explain why. Sorry about the sound in the background, but it is what it is.
This is what the country and the world woke up to this morning. Take a look.
Elon Musk just bought The View,
the iconic daytime talk show known for its spirited debates on current events, pop culture, and politics. Musk,
Now,
the high-profile
a lot of
CEO
the
of Tesla,
times
SpaceX,
this will
Neuralink, and the
happen. You'll
Boring
get your
Company,
the
has built a
screen with it.
reputation
You
for
just have to
disrupting
let it play it and
industries,
do its
from
thing.
electric vehicles to
Um,
space exploration. But his purchase of The View, a cultural cornerstone in American daytime TV, represents a new frontier even for him. Musk is no stranger to controversy and open discussions on complex issues. But how might he reshape The View to reflect his own vision?
Now,
Could
a
the
lot of
talk
people
show
have this
we've known
problem.
for
There it
decades
is.
be on
So,
the verge
when
of
you
an
open it up the
evolution
first
that
time in a long
redefines
time, or you
daytime
open it up
TV as a
and you
platform
get
for
this,
transformative,
you want to do
forward-thinking conversations? While
Control
fans
Alt
of The
Delete.
View are familiar with its
You want to take
fiery
your task
co-hosts,
manager, and this will
unapologetic
happen.
debates,
Did
and
you see?
lively discussions,
It
Musk's
to the
ownership
corner.
could introduce a new direction that brings more
Now,
depth,
that being
diversity
said,
of thought,
if I
and cutting-edge
click on it,
technology to the show. With his
notice
track
how
record
nothing
of
happens.
bold, unorthodox moves, Musk could be gearing
Alright.
up to make The View into something
So,
far different from its current format.
after
Something
doing that,
has the
you want to hit
potential
stop.
to challenge, educate, and inspire
Now remember, we
viewers
changed graphics.
in ways daytime television has rarely attempted. So, why a
And then
daytime
that'll,
talk show? At first
then-
glance, Elon Musk and The View might seem an unlikely pairing. After all, Musk has built his career on technology, space, and sustainability, worlds seemingly far removed from the world of daytime television.
And then
But
your
in
game will
recent
load.
years, Musk has
Now,
shown
I'm
an
running
increasing interest in reshaping media
Multiple
narratives.
things at once.
He has been vocal about his frustrations
Now,
with mainstream media.
notice it's in the corner,
criticizing it
okay?
for prioritizing
This is
clickbait
common.
and sensationalism
A common
over
issue.
substantive, nuanced
Now,
conversations.
yeah,
From his frequent Twitter
it's
battles
annoying.
with journalists to his vocal criticism
Now,
of media practices,
you want to go to your
Musk
settings.
has never shied away from calling out the flaws
Okay.
he perceives in today's
You want to go to your
news
video,
ecosystem. Buying The View
display,
could be Musk's way of addressing
click
these
back,
issues head on. The View
apply.
has a built-in audience
It'll go
that
to full
spans
screen.
millions, and an established
Now, you're not changing
reputation as a
anything
place
yet.
for candid,
We're just waiting
sometimes
till this is
provocative discussion.
going to do its thing.
For Musk, who has long spoken about the need
Now,
for better media accountability, this
because
purchase offers a unique
It,
opportunity to take control
the game
of the
kind of
narrative.
decides its own little thing
Rather
at this
than
moment.
launching a new network from scratch, Musk can harness the legacy and platform
Alright,
of The View
so now that we're
to
in here,
reshape daytime television.
notice
as a
how the
forum for
display
discussing
resolution
issues that
is
impact
not
humanity's
what
future.
my
Musk's
TV is or
plans,
any of my
according to
settings.
close sources,
You can change
involve
that
using The View
here
as a vehicle to inspire
and all the way.
meaningful conversations.
That's as high as
critical
my graphics
thinking,
card, but since
and
I'm doing a
spotlight
video,
the
I'm not
big
going to
picture
do that.
challenges facing society.
And
Musk, who is known for his deep
shit, I
involvement
already
in
changed it.
initiatives
Oh,
like
well.
renewable energy, space exploration,
No.
and AI ethics, sees The View as an ideal
We just want
platform
that.
to reach a broader audience and shift the cultural conversation from fleeting
Okay.
headlines to
Locking
topics
your
that
frame
demand our
rates
attention and
and
engagement.
unlocking them.
So,
Go as
what's
high
his vision for
as you can
daytime
go.
TV?
If your
Elon Musk has
GPU
never been
doesn't
one to follow the
support or your
rules,
computer,
and
it
it's
doesn't
unlikely
matter.
he'll keep
It will
The View's
only give you
format
the frame
entirely
rates that your
intact.
computer
Here
will
are some of the
maximum
potential
or
changes
middle
Musk
range
might
of
bring,
depending on how
turning
you
the show
chose your
into something that
performance.
bridges entertainment,
You want
education,
VSync
and
on.
thought leadership. A broad
Even
scope
if your
with a
TV doesn't
focus on
support
humanity's
VSync,
future.
VSync will help.
Historically, The View has covered current events, pop culture, and
That being
trending
said, let's
social
go
issues,
to
with
graphics.
co-hosts offering their
Yes,
unique
I want to
takes
change.
on the topics of the day.
Quality.
But Musk is likely
Now,
to shift the program's focus toward
This here,
big
as you can see in the
picture
corner,
themes.
it can make a difference
Issues
depending
that
on
don't
what you
just
change.
impact
Quality.
today's
Notice how
news
these
cycle,
settings,
but that shape the
they
future of
change.
human civilization.
Well,
Imagine an
you
episode
can
discussing
leave
not
that
just
by
climate
itself.
change, but specific
I
pathways
usually
for
go
global
to the
action.
extreme
Or a debate
scaling
that
or
explores the ethics of
upscaling.
AI rather than
Even
just the
when
latest tech
my
gadgets.
graphics that
Under
I
Musk's
usually
leadership,
have, I have
The
it.
View
I don't
could
have that
become a
usually on
platform
there.
where topics like
I usually do
space
just Epic
colonization, AI ethics, global
for
energy policies, and the future of
graphics.
work
But when it
are
comes to
explored
scaling,
in depth.
the less
Picture
you
the show
have, you'll notice in the
exploring
background,
space exploration
the
and
more
humanity's
difference
role
it'll
in the
be.
cosmos.
And this decides on
Musk has
how
long
it
advocated
renders
for
the
making
quality.
life multiplanetary, and this vision could become a recurring
And
theme
they
on
usually
The
have
View.
it like that. That's why you
Rather
get
than
it
just
in that small
discussing
box when it
science
first
fiction
loads.
fantasies, The panel
Now,
could engage with experts on the real
bodycam has,
challenges
yeah,
and
I have everything
implications of
else on
establishing
Epic,
colonies on Mars, lunar
and
mining, or the search for extraterrestrial
my
life.
gain, my sharpness
Artificial
is on
intelligence in
high.
society.
Now,
Musk
they say,
has been outspoken
everybody
about
goes,
both
well,
the
I
benefits
push
and
back
risks
and
of
I can't get
AI.
out.
He could
Okay.
introduce discussions on
Remember
AI
when I said that
governance,
window
the
locked
role
up
of
and you
AI
pressed
in
your
everyday
task
life,
manager open?
and the ethical
Well,
responsibilities
this game
tied to
doesn't like
AI's
task
growth.
manager, so it seems to
Imagine
work
a
when you
segment
open
with
it and
neuroscientists
and you
and
go
AI
through and you move
ethicists
it.
debating the
Now,
line
that being
between
said,
innovation and caution, with
you can
Musk
see
himself
how
weighing in on the
I like to host a game.
of unchecked
Um,
technological advancement,
I'll do
climate
zombies.
change, and the green revolution.
Alright,
With
let me find my
Tesla's mission
controller.
to accelerate sustainable
Plug it
energy,
in.
Musk could use the view to bring a deeper understanding of climate science, renewable
Now,
energy
I use my
technologies,
controller and my mouse. My
policy
mouse is my
initiatives.
view, and my controller
The show could
is
become
my
a platform
movement.
to discuss solutions rather than just echoing common environmental themes. Segments could highlight ways viewers
took
can
too
take
long to get
action
off
on a
the
personal
thing.
level. From
I'm not going to be making too much more of the video because pretty basically you'll see how it looks.
One of the views
There's the elevator. What the hell? It's a flare gun?
panel of diverse, strong often coming from different backgrounds and
Flashlight.
political
I
perspectives.
gotta remember.
Under Musk,
Nope.
this lineup could look radically different. Instead of focusing
Okay,
exclusively on
flashlight.
celebrities, comedians, and traditional media
Alright,
figures,
so
Musk might invite co-hosts
this is
from
what it'll
fields
look like
rarely
on its
represented
lowest
talk shows.
settings. Now, I usually have all mine high, but I'm making this video for you low graphics cards. In other words, if you have a 4 gig, 8 gig, 12 gig, these settings will help you. And it will look better than this because mine supports higher graphics. It looks a little weird, but it runs smooth. And you'll have no problems playing your game. No glitchies, no nothing. Look at how well that plays. So these are the settings that you need for having a very low-end graphics card or a graphics card that doesn't have a lot going for it. And you will see how, I'm waiting for a zombie to pop out. I don't know. There's an elevator. You think I should jump through it? Oh shit. Look at that. Alright, we're going. We're doing. Oh, we can't. Do I push a button? Is there a button? Oh, there is a button. Okay, I forgot how to. Is it E? Oh, my flashlight died. Oh, shit.
Trump's pick for UN Ambassador, Laboratory Secretary, EPA Administrator, and Defense Secretary.
Where's this elevator at, man?
This morning, I was notified of a bomb threat targeting my home where I was celebrating Thanksgiving.
Why are you on the second floor? You're gonna make me go up the stairs, aren't you?
Hines said in a statement. Hines said that after a swift and thorough response from Capitol Police in Greenwich and Stamford Police Departments, no evidence was found. Senator Chris Murphy also had his home targeted by a bomb threat on Thursday morning in what appears to be a coordinated effort involving multiple members of Congress and public figures, the spokesperson said. Representative Jahan Hayes said in a statement that she was notified Thursday morning by her local police chief of a threatening email stating a pipe bomb had been placed in her mailbox at her home. Law enforcement responded.
Why am I hearing noises?
Or explosive materials were discovered and the scene was cleared, Hayes said, adding that the investigation.
Yes, I still have to use my keyboard. Oh.
Representative Joe Courtney said was targeted with a bomb threat while he and his family were at home celebrating Thanksgiving, the spokesperson said in a statement. The Courtneys are safe and there are no evidences found of a bomb on the
shit.
property, they added. Representative John Larson notes that is primarily leading the charge for Social Security reform. He said in a statement that local police
And I'm gonna get. Oh, you motherfucker.
and determined no bomb was present. Immediately respond to a request for a comment from Representative John Larson. So there you have it. Now, in this moment, as we just heard, several President-elect Donald Trump's
Reload.
cabinet nominees and administration appointees were subject to bomb threats and squad attacks. The spokesperson for Trump's transition team said the nominees and appointees were targeted in violence, unabated threats to their lives and those who live with them.
It's so nice how nobody's coming to play.
Carolyn Levitz said in a statement that these were hoaxes, these were fake. However, very again today against Democratic members of the United States as well. Members of Congress from Connecticut. Now, in addition to that, as I mentioned, we're hearing of the United States how to survive a nuclear explosion as the U.S. government shares a chilling warning to the U.S.
Yeah. What do they say? Double tap. Oh, you bastard. Alright, so I lost. But as you can see, choose these settings, and you were literally... that guy wasn't even playing with me, what the fuck. And you'll be happy with it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and follow. And no. I'll end up playing this game a little bit. Alright. So, again, you're having graphics issues, you're having problems with the body cam playing. That's what you want to do. You have a good one. Why is it taking forever?